So I have talked many a time about the Eternals and how somebody contacted me and said that had they seen my review of the Eternals, they never would have gone to cinema to watch it because they say they went and saw the day after that they watched it, that's when they saw my review, and they say had they seen my review, they never would have gone watch it because the Eternal one was one of the worst things that they ever saw. So the person said to me, it's one of the worst things they ever saw. So the movie was just nonsense from start to finish. That, every potential that it had was wasted. And yes, it had Angelina Jolie and some other big names in it. But you could tell that they were more interested in pushing their whole representation nonsense than actually making a good movie. Because in the end, I still don't know what was the point of the whole damn thing, but that's what was going on. Well, apparently, the guy who played Kingo, I believe it was in the movie, apparently got shafted pretty badly because he figured this was going to be a 10-year thing. They were going to be doing plenty stuff, only to find out, well, after it flopped, it wasn't doing any of that. Dive into this article here from Cosmic Book News. Eternal's failure killed 10 years of MCU plans, says Kumail Nanjiani. Najani, they get this here, Najani. Now, I don't know too much about this guy. I have seen him in a few things. I wouldn't say, I'm like 100%. Yeah, he's a fantastic actor. I think he just does what he does. I honestly don't pay too much attention to it, so I can't say anything in regards to it. But let's get into this. The flop of Eternals didn't just bomb at the box office, it also wrecked 10 years of plans for the characters in the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, because here's the thing, Marvel went into the Eternals thinking this was going to be the next big thing. When I say Marvel was so high on this representation and DI crap, I tell you, they were snorting it like it was blow. They were so into this, they figured that, there was no way in hell anything that they put up with this was going to flop. Because why they were taking all the information from Twitter and other lunatics who they were hired who were telling them, listen, this is the next big thing, do this. All that fun, interesting superhero drama that we had? No, we don't need that anymore, do this. Because they literally had Kevin Feige and everyone said, they took a group of unknown superheroes and that way they could gender swap, race swap, sexuality swap everybody, and that would be okay. And it wasn't, because the Eternals actually have some good to them. They could have been a good movie if they had done it better, but no, they put together some ridiculous crap and then tried to figure out what's going to be even better. Hell, they even played the whole damn thing out in this thing that they did. What if, well, in the second season they had Agatha and Kingo? Well, this nonsense. This absolute nonsense. Let's continue on. Speaking candidly on the Working It Out podcast, Nanjiani revealed how badly Eternal's tanking affected him, both professionally and personally. The Marvel flop wasn't supposed to be a one and done. Nanjiani said he signed on for 6 movies, a video game, and even a theme park ride. That's how big they thought this was going to be. Like I said, they were sniffing that DI hard. They were snorting it and they were like, yeah, this is the thing, man. Because they had him signed on for 6 movies, a video game, and even a theme park right now. I don't know whether they had 6 movies, 6 stories with a movies or anything. I sure as hell don't know where they were going to get a video game. And I even less don't know whether we're going to get some kind of theme park ride. What the hell were they going to call it? But whatever. This is what he had just said. You see, I was like, this is going to be my job for the next 10 years. They make you sign on for all this stuff. You're like, okay, so I'll be doing Marvel movies every year, and in between, I'll do my own little things. None of that happened. Again, the MCU figured it could take a group of literally unknown heroes like the Eternals, you understand me? Put a massive DI stamp on it, and they figured they were going to get 10 years worth of crap out of this. That's what was going on. They figured they were going to get 10 years out of this. That was their thing. Nanjiani admitted he expected Eternals to launch a decade-long run of Marvel appearances, but the movie flopped, both critically and financially, and nothing else materialized. It shattered me too much, he said. That was when I was like, oh, I need to go to therapy to figure this out. He explained that too much of his self-worth was tied to audience reactions. What really hit me was realizing that too much of my self esteem is wrapped up in other people's reactions to my work. Now, you might think, okay, well, he needed to go to therapy, and that's tragic. It really hit him hard and all of that. Okay. Until you remember the stuff he was saying when the movie was coming out. Because when you go over to that park place here, they have this article here. Kumail Nanjiani signed 6-film Marvel deal for Eternals. Once boasted film was upsetting the right people before it flopped. Yeah, so they go through a bunch of stuff here. Let me get to it here. Right. Where is it? Okay, from the very beginning, Eternals was sold less as a superhero adventure and more as a cultural milestone. Cast and crew spoke about the film as if it were a historic social achievement rather than entertainment. Like I say, this is how deep Marvel was pushing this. They were acting like this was some kind of cultural revolution that people would now opening their eyes to the great DEI. Because I'm telling you, like I said in a video I did on how Marvel, on how the MCU destroyed itself, they were literally worshipping at the altar of woke. They turned DEI into a literal religion. They were acting like this was everything and anything that they needed to push. Right? Hans Slyman, who played the husband of Brian Tyree Henry's Fastos of Faces over here, made headlines when he called the film life-saving, right? Beyond a dream come true, it's like it's life-saving, he said. I wish I had that when I was a kid. Can you imagine how many lives this is going to save? Yeah, that's what they were talking about, the fact that, the sexuality swapped one of the Eternals to have a husband. The black man had a husband in that, and that's what they were acting like this was some great thing. And they're talking about, this is going to, it's life saving. And you imagine how many lives this is going to be saving. That's what they were talking about, right? And now Kumail Nanjiani added his own voice to the chorus, tweeting after the movie's release, "Looks like we're upsetting the right people." This was due to so-called conservative outrage at the film's progressive push. Just after Nanjiani made this claim, the film collapsed when all the right people didn't buy a ticket. So yeah, you're talking about how you needed to go to therapy to figure this out because the movie flopped. And what really hit me was realizing too much of my self-esteem is wrapped up in other people's reactions to my work. But you were out there tweeting, looks like we're upsetting the right people, right? And when the film collapsed because the right people didn't buy a ticket. So I'm sorry if you're expecting me to feel sorry for the man, but no, he came out here and he was very confident to shout and say that, oh, we're upsetting the right people. And then the film collapsed. That's what you did to yourself. Despite the disaster, Nanjiani still has fond feelings for the project. Great. I love the movie. I'm very proud of it. Well, I wouldn't expect you to say that, you thought it was garbage. Though he admits the ensemble may have been too crowded. there were a few too many people in Eternals if the reviews are to be believed. But there is something. Had they done a good Eternals movie, had they made it so that the cast and everybody in there actually was supposed to make sense, you wouldn't have had that problem. But no, they wanted to make their own DEI disaster. And now they're surprised it was a DEI disaster. What a shocker. Nanjiani isn't the only one left behind. Lauren Ridloff recently confirmed she's not part of Avengers Doomsday, and other cast members have quietly exited the MCU or moved on to other projects. One of them have been named for Doomsday or Secret Wars, like Kit Harington being reportedly cut from Blade, and rumors of Nanjiani joining James Gunn's DCU as Booster Gold. Oh God. With no sequel, no future appearances, and no place in the Avengers lineup, it's clear Marvel has wiped its hands of the Eternal experiment. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I'm very sorry, sir, that your whole plan for your 10-year deal, you're going to do 6 movies, a video game, and a theme park did not work out. But again, you were the one out there saying looks are upsetting the right people. How did that work out for you? It didn't. That's what goes on. Because you don't care, you didn't business, you figure it was supposed to just go the way you wanted it to. And that's what happened. So yeah, it led you to therapy. You didn't get what you wanted. Yeah, because if they had made a good movie and you had actually bothered to promote it with some decency and respect, rather than looks like we're upsetting looks like we're upsetting the right people. Well, the right people didn't show up for your movie. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.